And as y'all see, I want to do this by about TSZYU, however you pronounce his name. So I seen the fight versus him and one second, y'all. One second. All right, my bad. Hey, so I seen the fight versus him and Tony Harrison, right? To Zoo, right? And one of the things that I do like about him, man, I like the heart, right? I do like the heart of Tim, but the control or out of control aggression that this man has is going to get him knocked out. You know, I really have Charlo, knocking this dude out maybe in like 6, 7 rounds. This fighter, I believe he's going to be the next hype. They're going to give him a lot of praise and credit because he beat somebody like Harrison, and Tony Harrison was one of the ones that actually was the only one that beat Jermell Charlo. But I had Jermell Charlo winning that fight, so they gave it to Tony Harrison, and like you take your wins with your losses, right? You take your bumps and bruises, but a guy like Tim Zoo, I think that he did what he was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? But it shows you that Harrison basically needs to retire. He literally needs to retire because he couldn't do nothing. And to me, the fight looked fake. So somebody like that, man, that talked all that mess, said he was gonna do this, that, and the third, and for the guy to have that game plan that he had, that was basically, a travesty, man. That guy needs to retire. Harrison needs to retire, bro. He needs to be gone. So I would not recommend that he get any fights. And if he do continue to fight, one of the things that he will be the gatekeeper, which means that all the up and coming fighters that's supposed to be, this, that, and the third, they're all gonna fight people like Tony Harris. You know what I'm saying? So if I was him, I would retire because he don't have nothing left in the tank. And you saw that when you end up watching the fight, right? So the jab, it was lazy. His reaction was delayed. His timing was off. He was slow. And then you had somebody like Tim Zoo, who's basically extra wild, and basically put himself out there to be countered on many occasions. But Harrison could not do nothing to do like to combat that, right? So he never made Tim, pay for his wild punching and all the other stuff. So I do, like I say, man, I do like Tim, but I think what people are going to start to do, like they did with Canelo, like they did with Lomachenko, like they did with NOA, like they did with uh uh um I ain't gonna say Usyk. I like Usyk, but like with a slew of other fighters, right? Chocolatito, they basically put these fighters on a pedestal, and then these fighters end up losing and showing you that they're not what they claim to be. So you got like people like Nonino Donaire, right? They gave him the clout before he actually warranted, right? Then he lose to a Rigamondale. You know what I'm saying? So they giving fighters like that, what I'm saying, credit that's really undeserving, right? The praise. I wouldn't be surprised if they talked about putting this man on pound for pound list, right? Which he's non-deserving. And so he even have like this mentality that, oh, say my name, say my mother loving my name, right? Okay, bro, you cool, you a fight. We know that when you fight Jermell Charlo, it's supposed to be a nice fight. It's two fighters that are willing to go toe to toe, right? Like what is it, Castano, right? When him and Jermell Charlo have fought, I think Castano is actually a better fighter, but it's to remain to be seen. Now, I'm not saying that TSZYU don't have a chance. I'm saying that I just believe that Jermell Charlo is, for one, the better boxer, for two, the harder puncher, three, the more experienced person. So that's why I chose him. Now, a lot of people might say, oh, yeah, you choose him because he's black. Man, that has nothing to do with it. I like being right more than, than being a race baiter. I love being right. You know what I'm saying? It helps my credibility. I don't want to just pick somebody just because. Like when I picked Deontay Wilder, I picked him because I truly thought that it would be next to impossible for Tyson Fury to go 12 rounds without getting hit by that hard punch. In the first fight, Deontay Wilder really won. The the ref actually admitted it that he should have stopped the fight, but he didn't. He gave him more time to get up, which shouldn't have been the case, right? And then I'm gonna say that the third fight that they had, Tyson Fury won fair and square. So, I felt like Deontay Wilder was, the puncher, so he was going to catch him, right? Which he did in damn near all the fights, right? He dropped him in all the fights. So it wasn't one of those things to where, oh man, I'm just picking him because he's this person or he's that person. I select the person based on who I truly believe is going to win. And I believe that Tim, his style is he's a very wild puncher, and to have a trainer like Derrick James for somebody like Jermell Charlo, and to see that aggression that he has and how out of control he is and how he put himself in a position to be countered and how easy he is to hit and how wild he is at times. How many uppercuts that he throw that can actually get him countered. Like I know a person like in a trainer like Derrick James will actually be able to prepare a Jermell Charlo, for the onslaught. And that's what I'm banking on. You know what I'm saying? Tim TSZYU is a good fighter. Now, am I going to give him great? No, I'm not going to do that. Do he deserve to fight this undisputed? To be honest, I think the fight that I really wanted to see, I wanted to see Fondora versus Jermell Charlo. If I could have had it my way, that would have been a fight. You feel what I'm saying? So, um, yeah, man, I definitely can't wait till the fight happens or it's supposed to happen. And one of the things that a lot of people are not going to give Jermell Charlo a lot of credit for is that he's coming off a long layoff and off an injured hand, a broken hand. So ain't nobody gonna give that man credit. They're gonna want him to come in right away to fight a TSZYU, because they want to see him lose. They want to see TSZYU actually win the fight. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna want to hear any excuses. So if Jermell Charlo acts to fight a tune-up, a lot of people are going to talk a lot of mess. Even though they see how aggressive this cat is, they seeing that he's actually a good fighter, they're not going to care about that. All they're going to care about is seeing this man at a disadvantage or coming right off a layoff. They want to see him, coming directly into the TSZYU fight. And then if TSZYU win, they're not going to equate that to the fact that this man had a long layoff. You know what I'm saying? So, That's all I got for now, man. I definitely think that the fight is going to be, a bunch of fireworks, especially um, how TSZYU fight with the aggression, how he's a straight come forward person. I just think, in what I've seen, that you got a Jermell Charlo who actually has a great jab and know how to counter that. And he hits way harder than a Tony Harris. He hits way harder. So it ain't no bypassing that jab. You try to bypass that jab, you're gonna get met with a hook, uppercut, or a knockout punch. So, you pick your poison, man. But yeah, man, thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button if y'all haven't already.